Daniel, I think we are live, please.
Okay, okay, yeah, thank you. Um, okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, mommy. Good evening, Mrs. Olatoye. Good evening, Mr. Charles, Mr. Amodu. I hope you're all fine. I hope you had a great day today. Thank you. Yeah, okay.
Good evening.
Thank you very much, ma. So I'll be introducing our CEO shortly. So it is with great honor to introduce to you Mrs. Olushola Olayinka OON. She is the founder and vice president of Golan Helps Initiatives, a non-profit organization dedicated to providing free food assistance to vulnerable households, particularly women and children, in Abuja and across FCT. In addition to her work with Golan Helps, she is the founder and the president of the Urban Family Farming Community. Mrs. Idowu is a distinguished professional, having served as a retired federal permanent secretary of the Ministry of Budget and National Planning. She has also been the former national convener of the United Nations Food System Dialogue in Nigeria. Her contribution to the society have earned her the prestigious title of Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON. So please everyone, join me in welcoming Mrs. Olushola Olayinka Idowu, OON, as she takes the stage to address us. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel.
Yes, ma'am.
That's our farm manager. Well, welcome to this episode 3 of our Who is Your Farmer series 2. Today, we dive into a topic that blends health, wellness, and the joy of urban gardening. In our current culture, we often ask, who is your doctor or who is your lawyer? Key figures in our lives that helps us manage our health and our well-being. Today, we are flipping that question slightly and we are asking, who is your farmer? Today, we shall be talking about herbs. These herbs not only offer a wealth of culinary delight, but also boast incredible health benefits that can enhance your well-being. Whether you have a spacious garden or a small balcony, there's something valuable here for everyone. We're excited to welcome Mr. Oluwatomi Olatoye, an inspiring urban agriculture influencer who will guide us on creating our very own backyard Farm-Acy. She will be sharing her insights on the 7 must-have herbs you can grow right at home to support your health and well-being. Just as we rely on our doctors for health advice, we can also turn to these herbs for natural remedies. Let's discover together how we can be proactive about our health through gardening. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, Mr. Salahu, please introduce our guest speaker, please. Is he in already? Who is Gesuto? Who is Gesuto? It's serious. Oh. So let me take the introduction of our guest speaker. Mr. Salah, I think he's having issues with his network. Mrs. Oluwatomi Olatoye is a social entrepreneur, urban agricultural influencer, and an health coach with over 20 years of experience. As managing director of Green Gold Foods and Beverages Limited, she produces herbs, teas, and spices. She founded the Urban Agriculture School to empower urban households with food cultivation skills. With degrees in geography and agricultural geography, Oluwatomi is also a certified neuropathy, a prolific writer and a speaker. She has initiated projects like the OBE Garden Project and Faith Garden Concept. Recently, she was nominated for she African She Award Best Agriculture of the Year and graduated from grant writing school. You're welcome, Mrs. Oluwatomi.
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to be here tonight. It's raining here, so we are happy in Ibadan. I'm speaking
Okay.
from Ibadan.
Raining already?
Yes, so I'm moving to the farm tomorrow.
Serious matter, serious matter, serious matter, serious
Yes,
matter.
so it's been
Okay.
drizzling since around 5:30, and it's
Yeah,
still
so
drizzling.
long.
So the
Yeah,
plants
so
are
long.
happy. I'm happy, and I know that other farmers are also happy.
Okay. So, Mr. Charles, can you please play
So good
Mrs.
evening
Oluwatomi?
once again.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, I want to
Okay.
play the video before you come on.
Yes. Okay,
Farming is just dirt and dung. That was our perception before we embarked on an unforgettable journey with Mrs. Tomi Olatoye, the plant whisperer at the Urban Agric School. Farming is just dirt and dung. That was our perception before we embarked on an unforgettable journey with Mrs. Tomi Olatoye, the plant whisperer at the Urban Agric School. Our classroom was not of chalks and boards, but of seedlings and soil. We discovered that garlic could sprout from ordinary PET bottles. Here we're planting onions. Interesting, right? Everywhere became potential green space. Even your staircases can be turned into a mini garden. Old handbags transitioned into plant homes. Tires, eggshells, and even kegs can be used. There really isn't an excuse anymore. The mantra is clear. Nothing is trash. Everything could bloom. All the team, I can't dare cook without seasoning cubes. You have no excuse to grow your fresh herbs in your home and make your own homemade seasonings. We got seeds of green pepper because what? Those things have become so expensive, especially in Lagos. So why not grow mine? My take home, when it comes to agriculture, space is not an excuse. It's all about your will and creativity.
Okay, that's so amazing. You're welcome once again, madam. So you
Yes,
have the
thank you,
next
mom.
25 minutes to teach us on what we have called the backyard pharmacy, 7 most must have herbs. You have the floor, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank God for what you're doing. When Mr. Daniel read some of the things that you have done, I'm so excited. And I want to say that in any way, in our own little way, I will go back and see some of the things that you've done in the past and see how we can also be part of it by the grace of God. Well done, ma. Well done. I know that in this part of the world, there we have so many challenges, and I know that not one man or one woman cannot solve the whole problem. We need to team up together to solve the issue on ground. And I'm so passionate about food security. I'm so passionate about it. I talk about it, I breathe it, I pray it, I speak it, and I do it. And I know that as a country, we can be food sufficient. It's possible. I don't want to hear it. It's possible. We have all the necessary facility to be food secure in Nigeria. And I know that before we can attain national food security, we need to come to the home level. We need to come to households. We need to come to the grassroots. And that's why my focus over the years have been on urban agriculture and home garden. I know that if households are food secured, then it means that as a country, we can be food secured. So everything I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about herbs. At the same time, I'm also going to tie it to urban household food security, which is important and essential. And I'm also going to be sharing a lot of stories in between so that to drive my points home so that I want all of us to take something tangible away from this meeting. And I trust in God that God is going to do exactly that for us. So, mommy, once again, I thank you for this platform. I thank you for the opportunity to share. Tonight, I'm going to share with us on how you can create your own backyard pharmacy. Farm-Acy. All of us, we are familiar with the word pharmacy. Pharmacy is a place where we go and buy drugs when we are sick so that we can get our healing. So now we are talking about you creating a backyard medicine in your compound. And the question is it possible or it's not possible? I want to tell you it's possible. I happen to live in two states. I live in Ibadan, which is Oyo State, and we also have another home in Ondo State and Akure. So I'll be talking about my garden in Akure and my garden in Ibadan. When we were in Akure, in my compound, when you enter the place, you think you have entered the jungle because we planted so many things. Before we moved to the land, we already planted half of the things in that compound. So by the time we were moving in, especially all the fruit trees started fruiting as we moved into the compound. I'm saying this because to encourage some of us, you have land that you're not using. Go and plant all the fruits that you like to eat. When you become grandma and grandpa, go and plant it on that land. So by the time you are building, some of the fruits will be 3 years, 4 years. By the time you are moving to that place, the fruits are ready. So that was what we did in Akure. We already planted soursop, we planted mango, planted about 10 different types of fruits in the compound. So when we moved in, the garden was set for us. So there was a day my last baby was playing in the house and he hit his head on the wall. And there was a deep cut on his head and he started bleeding. Everybody was afraid because the rate the blood was gushing out was too much. And we quickly called the hospital. Of course, I don't know whether some of us are familiar with Akure. I know it's a distance to move from our house to the government hospital. So we had to call the doctor in the government hospital that they should send the ambulance to pick him up. But the government thing, unfortunately, there was no ambulance. So we had to plan to transport the boy from the house to the hospital, and the blood was gushing. And the only thing that came to my mind at that time is, how do I stop this blood before we get to the hospital? I quickly went behind my house. I looked around and I saw there's so many trees there. I looked and I saw the moringa. I said, okay, let me. I know the health benefits. I know some of the nutrients in moringa. I said moringa can help me at this time. So I stripped a handful of moringa leaves. I put the leaves in my mouth. I chewed it to form a paste. So I went back inside the house and I put the paste on the boy's head. And lo and behold, the bleeding stopped. It's as if I turned off a tap. The bleeding stopped immediately. So we didn't have to rush to the hospital. So we just took the boy to the hospital. By the time we got to the hospital, because we already called them, there's an emergency, the trolley was outside, the doctor was there, and they were like, okay, where's the child? And the child came up from the car and walked to the ward by himself. And the doctor was saying, what? So what did you say? It's an emergency? I said, yes, it was an emergency. And he asked me, so what happened? I said the blood was gushing out and I had to stop the blood. And the man looked at me and said, are you a medical person? I said, no. He said, how did I stop the blood? I said, I used moringa. The man kept quiet. He didn't say any word. And they treated the boy. And then within 2 hours, we were on our way home. And when we were about to leave the hospital, the doctor called me and said, madam, tell me what exactly you did. And I told the doctor what I did. And he told me the implication that if I didn't stop the blood, what will have happened? He said, number one, we will come to the hospital. The boy will have lost so much blood. Then they will ask me to go and buy blood. When I go to buy blood, they will do analysis of the blood to be sure that the blood will match the blood of my son. And because he's going to be on blood, they are going to give him blood, then that means they're going to admit the boy. So it showed me the whole thing that would have happened if I didn't stop the blood. And I was thankful to God. I was thankful to the moringa tree in the compound. So I'm starting with this story to tell us that your pharmacy, your healing starts from your compound. And it won't happen if you don't plan it. It won't happen if you're not intentional about it. So that's why I'm bringing to us tonight 4 simple herbs that you can start your pharmacy with. It's important. If you want to say you want to live healthy, you want to live right, you must be intentional about it. It's not just talking. Some people say, I don't want to drink Coke again, and they don't have juice in their fridge. You will drink Coke. That's the truth. You don't have Zobo at all. You will drink Coke because you don't have alternative and you're already used to natural. You desire to drink natural things. So if I'm saying I want to create a backyard pharmacy in my house, It's doesn't stop at listening to this message. It goes beyond that. The next step you take is, let me go and implement what I've had. Some of us, we have backyard pharmacy already, but by the time we also talk about the health benefits in those plants, you take care of them very well. I remember I have a plant in my compound. It's mugwort. The name of the plant is mugwort. I just planted. I wasn't taking care of the plant. I didn't know what the plant can do until one day I went online, and I saw a guy talking about the plant in my compound, and he told me, and he said the plant is a blood detoxifier. When I read everything, I quickly went to my garden, took care of the plant, blah, 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 and I nurtured the plant. So tonight, I know that some of us, we have the plants at home. We might not be taking care of them. I know at the end of this class, we'll be able to take care of them very well. So let's start with the 7 herbs. Some of the herbs I'm going to mention, some of us, we know it, but I also want us to take care of them and also tell other people about it. The first plant that I'm going to talk about is moringa. I'm sure maybe all of us have moringa, but are we using moringa? We have moringa, and we are not even utilizing all the magic that moringa can do for us. I'm telling you, moringa is one of the best, one of the most potent and effective herb that you can think about, honestly. Almost all the vitamins that the body needs is inside moringa. If you want to boost your immunity, the first plant that should come to your mind is moringa. Moringa is a tree and it grows very fast. And when it comes to it, it's also a drought resistant plant. During the dry season, moringa is growing. During the rainy season, moringa is growing. So I want to recommend that if you don't have moringa, please just ask your neighbor or ask a friend to give you a moringa and plant moringa in your compound. You are planting it to save yourself and to save your neighbor. Moringa has more vitamin A than carrot. Moringa has more vitamin C than orange. Moringa has more nutrient than spinach and kale, some of the imported plants that we all buy. So the times you don't have money to buy fruits, don't have money to buy the vegetables around you, but you have moringa. Moringa will serve the same purpose and it's cheaper. There's cheaper multivitamins. So moringa will give you all the multivitamins that you need, almost all the vitamins. I remember there was a time I had issue with my eyes. I would just pluck moringa leaves, squeeze the water, and drop it to my eyes. And my vision was getting better and better until now. I don't use glasses. It's painful, so don't go out tomorrow and just squeeze into your eye. It's like putting pepper into your eyes, but it's very, very effective. I remember when my mom was alive, she had issue with her sight too. So we just pluck the leaves, we'll squeeze the leaves and drop the water in her eyes, and her vision was improving. So moringa, it can improve your sight. I remember there was a lady that bought moringa tea from us. She has been looking for the fruit of the womb for 14 years. And the person that gave her our tea told her that, I don't know whether this thing will work for you, but just be drinking it. The lady said she was intentional about it. She didn't take any other thing during that period. And she took the tea for 1 month. And she said after 1 month, she conceived and she now has a child. She lives in Canada. So moringa will also help people that has fertility issues. When you have a cut, a deep cut, just strip moringa leaves, squeeze it and let the water touch the cut, it will heal it. So many things moringa can do for you. But if you don't have it, you won't have access to all the benefits I'm talking about. So I encourage all of us, let's start with moringa. It's easy to grow. It's everywhere, and you don't need to have a lot of money to have one stand of moringa in your plant. Though it's a treat, but you can go grow it in a container, a big container, and as they're going bigger, you can grow more, or you transplant them on the face of the ground, not close to your building, so you can plant moringa. The second plant that I'm going to talk about is basil. There are so many types of basil. Basil, we have our local one, which is efirin. The Yoruba call it efirin. Some of us are Igbo. Maybe if you know the Igbo word for efirin, you can type it in the comment section. If you're outside, you can type it in the comment section so that other people can also learn about it. Basil is one of the most effective antioxidant plants that you can have in your garden. It's common, but not everybody have it. So if you don't have ephedrine in your compound, please go and get ephedrine and plant. Anything, any issue or any health challenge that has to do with the womb, your basil will handle it. Basil can deal with fibroid. If you have, maybe you mistakenly eat something and you're stooling, you're going to just squeeze ephedrine in the water and drink it, it will go. So ephedrine is important. And ephedrine, there are different types. In my garden, we have the basil, the African basil, we have the sweet basil, and we have the holy basil. The sweet basil and the holy basil, they have a very nice smell, so you can use it to cook. You can use ephedrine to cook too. In my home, we don't use the normal conventional cubic seasoning to cook again. I've stopped using that for the past 10 years. Spices to cook our food, and it tastes good and it tastes delicious. So ephedrine in your compound will allow you to add ephedrine to your soup or your cookie. If you don't have it, you won't be able to add it. You will desire it, but if you don't have it in your backyard, you won't be able to do it. And ephedrine can also go in pots, can go in sack, it can go in containers. So I encourage all of us to have 1 or 2 stands of ephedrine or the sweet basil or the holy basil in your compound, and you can add it to your food. And I want to say that any spice that you cannot drink as tea, don't use it to cook. Am I talking?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hi, we can see you.
What happened?
I think our network got tampered with or something here. Because it looks like she's paused.
Yes. Audio, please. Audio, please. We are giving you audio. Please, if you have questions, start putting your questions. Start putting your questions. We'll come back. Start putting your questions, please. Start putting your question in the comment section, please. So that when we finish, we can just compile everything for her. She will come back. I'm sure she will come back. With the network.
Yeah.
Okay, I think she's back.
Hello. Okay, she's back. Okay. I was even going to. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I stopped at ephedrine.
Yes.
The basil.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the top one that I would like to move on to is the mint. The mint, we have peppermint, we have spearmint, we have chocolate mint, we have Chinese mint. Any one that you have, you can start with it. They grow very fast. You can also grow them in water. You can grow them in PET bottles. You can grow them in cups. You can grow them in flower pots. Ephedrine, they are anti-stress plants. You know, there's a lot of stress in Nigeria now, a lot. Money stress, traffic stress, family stress, hunger stress. There's so many stress. So if you don't want to be stressed, just make sure you plant mint. And when you are feeling stressed, just pluck. You can sniff it. It's an anti-stress. If you are feeling stressed, just pluck some mint and sniff it. You just be so calm and relaxed. If you don't want to sniff it, just chew some, or you add it to your spice, or you blend it, or you add it to water and drink. Is anti-stress. I always recommend ephedrine for Lagos people. When I go for seminars in Lagos, I always go with ephedrine because I know that stress is a big issue in Lagos. So I always recommend stress for everybody in Lagos. I don't know whether it's the same in Abuja, but we know
Okay.
that there's morning stress. So uh, if you can handle morning stress too, just sniff it and you
Okay.
sleep off. So you forget all the stress. Tomorrow morning, God will have done so many miracles. So
Yes.
if mint is, I recommend mint for everybody. It grows very fast. You don't need to take care of mint. Once they have water and they have enough manure, they are growing. They are growing, and you have access to it. It's also help with breath. Well, if anybody with mouth odor, if you have mouth odor, just choose some leaves in the morning or night or after eating, and you'll be fine. Your breath will be good. Then some of us that don't like garlic, when you take garlic, you can add mint to your garlic. It suppresses the smell that comes after taking garlic. So if sorry, mint is anti-stress. It helps with your breath. It also help with your blood flow, blood circulation. For young people who usually have menstrual pain, mint will take care of it will take your menstrual pain away, because it will relax your nerves and you sleep where you won't feel the pain. So I also recommend mint. Then some of us, when we eat, maybe because of warm or something, you feel like vomiting. Maybe you don't like the food, or there's no pepper in the food and you feel like vomiting. If it will suppress that kind of feeling. Mint will suppress
It's
that kind of
yes.
feeling. So you can also have mint after eating. You can add the mint to your food. When we cook in the house, we add mint, we add basil, we add moringa. We always add different things because they are all antioxidants. And we need antioxidants in our system to boost our immunity, to make sure the blood in our system is flowing well, to make sure our heart is fixed. Your mint will also relax your heart. Your heart palpitating. Some people experience heart palpitating. If you have mint, just make sure you drink your mint in the morning and evening and take it regularly, and you'll be fine. So mint is important. The fourth plant I want to mention is stevia. Stevia is a natural sugar. I don't know whether some of us have heard about it. It's a green sugar. Stevia is 300 times sweeter than refined sugar.
Mm.
Most of the sickness that people experience have been linked to refined sugar because it's not natural. And most of these deadly disease like cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, they thrive when the body is acidic. If you take a lot of refined sugar, your body will be acidic. It means that sickness and disease can flourish in that condition. But when you take stevia is sweet but has no calories. It's a zero calorie plant, and it's a sweetener. I always tell people stevia is a made by God sugar because it's a plant. You don't need to add anything to stevia. Just pick the leaves and put it in your mouth. It's 300 times sweeter than refined sugar. So what are we talking about? So you can see that almost all this thing God has given to us is us that we are backing. We are more advanced. We want to take something more advanced. But I want to tell you that you can migrate from refined sugar to stevia. Stevia is a new sugar now. There are some multinational or multinational companies that are already using stevia to replace refined sugar.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is using stevia in 55 countries already. So instead of adding refined sugar to their Coke, they are adding stevia. When you even look at Nigerian Coca-Cola, look at it, they will write natural sweetener. Most times it's stevia. People in the food and beverage industry are already replacing refined sugar with stevia. So it's a global movement. So don't let us be left out. Stevia is exportable. Stevia can grow very well in Nigeria. It can grow in your backyard. It can grow in containers. It can grow in bags. It can grow in PET bottles. It grows very well. Once stevia has access to water and sunlight, it will grow. And apart from stevia being a sweetener, stevia is also a medicine. I have a group. So most of these plants I've introduced you to them, and I always tell them, use them. Don't use herbs when you are sick alone. Herbs does not work like that. Let it be a lifestyle thing. Let it be part of you. It's not only when you have a headache that you remember, I have to take moringa. Even if you take it for the first time, your body might not accept it. Your body cannot relate with it because it just is a visitor. But if you be taking it, yes, it will work faster for you. So I told my group, all these plants, just use them and give us feedback. So there's a particular doctor. She's a lecturer in the university. She has high blood pressure. So she told us that before in the month, she would take BP. She would use the machine to record her blood pressure. Then she would take 3 leaves of stevia, 3 tiny leaves. She would chew it and swallow it with water. After 30 minutes, she would check her BP, and she always found out that the blood pressure has dropped. And that's what she said. She has stopped using her medication. She's now using stevia leaves as her medication. So when she told me, and I went online to look at it, whether it's true. Is it true that stevia can help you to lower your blood pressure? And I saw it. I saw that when you take stevia, it opens up your artery and allow your blood to flow. So apart from being a sweetener, it's also a medicine. There are times when maybe I'm finding it difficult to sleep, I'll just add stevia to my Zobo. We have a product called Zobo Stevia. Inside the Zobo, we have added stevia. So when you are buying our Zobo tea, you don't need to add sugar to it because it's already sweetened with stevia. So if I'm finding it difficult to sleep, I just take 1 tea bag of Zobo Stevia, I'll drop it in water and drink, and I'll sleep off. So it also helps with insomnia. So I always recommend for people living with diabetes, that's the official sugar for you, because it will not spike your sugar level because it has 0 calorie. If you want to lose weight, stop using refined sugar and migrate to stevia. If you always have issue with your teeth, stop using refined sugar and start using stevia. Everything that you use refined sugar to do, you can use stevia to do. You can add stevia to your pap. You can add stevia to your soup. I cook with stevia. You can add stevia to your oats. You can add stevia to your beans. There's a woman in those states, one grandma, she came from my program, and I gave them stevia, and she went to plant it, and she started adding stevia to her beans. Anytime she's cooking beans, she will add stevia to it. And the grandchildren always come around, and when they will eat grandma's beans and say, "Grandma, your beans is sweet." And she told them, she now showed them that she's been adding stevia to her beans. So anytime they go back to their house, and they said, "No, mommy, we are going to grandma. We want to go and take. We like grandma's beans. Grandma's beans is always very sweet." So you can also add stevia to your soup, to your porridge, and to beans. It's a sweetener. It's a healthy sweetener. Then number 5, it's a common plant. It's turmeric. It looks so, I think it's everywhere, but it's good. It's good to have turmeric at home. You know, your backyard pharmacy is also your first aid, your natural first aid. I remember when we were growing up, my mom we used to have this box in the house. They wrote use a cross in front of it and a first aid. So when you go out and you fall down, my mom just said, "Go and bring the iodine." I'm sure some of us are familiar with it. And so in the box, we have bandage, we have plaster, we had iodine, we had vitamin C. We just had little things that when we are sick at home, we just go there. So also when it comes to nature, you must have a first aid. Your backyard pharmacy is your first aid. When you have headache, the first thing that should come to your mind is my backyard. What do I have in my garden to treat headache? That's the way I think. When anything is wrong with me, I first of all think about my plants before I think of any doctor. Honestly, that's the way I think. If I have headache, the only thing that comes to my head is garlic. Oh, sorry, ginger. That's the first thing that comes to my head, ginger. So I tell my children, I always have ginger at home. I always have garlic. I always have onions. Apart from what I have in my garden, I'll just chew my ginger and I'll be fine. When I'm stooling, the first thing I always remember is do I have my basil? Do I have my vitamin A Gary? I always have vitamin A Gary because I saw in medicine. Do I have vitamin A Gary at home? Once I drink my vitamin A Gary, that's the end of stooling. So you must be intentional about what you put in that pharmacy, in that your right, because it's your first aid. Turmeric It's everywhere, but you have it in your garden. Turmeric will grow in a sack comfortably. It will go in your garden. There was a time almost about 12 years ago. I just planted about 10 rhizomes of turmeric in my compound in Akure. Up till today, we still harvest turmeric. In fact, most times we just harvest, put it on the floor, and let it germinate and grow back again because we have so many. We don't even, I just said, boy, harvest it, put it there, it will go back. So you can plant turmeric in your sack, on containers, on tires, or any small container you have at home, and let it grow. And when you harvest, it takes about 7 to 8 months for you to harvest your turmeric. When you harvest, you can dry, blend it, and keep it in the house. It's part of it. It's coming from your garden, and you'll be fine. Turmeric is antioxidant, antibacterial, antiviral, and it's also good for the skin. I remember one day I was watching Funke Akindele's program, and she said every morning she takes turmeric, ginger, and cayenne pepper. That's her dose every morning, and that's why she's fit. So turmeric is also good. You can also use it to cook. You can use it to cook your rice. You can use it to cook your moi moi. You can add it to your food. It's also a very fantastic spice. So let's quickly go to the last two, which is the Cuban oregano. Cuban oregano, some people call it Mexican mint, some people call it mixed mint. But when I wanted to stop the use of artificial seasoning, I didn't have any alternative. I just knew that I want to stop. I don't want to use artificial seasoning to cook. I don't want to, because I know that it has health implication, which might not happen. The negative effect will not happen suddenly, but over time. So I wanted to stop it. And the only spice that I had in my garden at that time was just Cuban oregano. And it grows very fast. It grows very well. And I started adding 2-3 leaves to all my cooking. And after 2 or 3 months, I was able to stop the artificial seasoning, and I concentrated on Cuban oregano. And it's been fantastic. Honestly, there's nothing that we cook in the house that we don't add Cuban oregano to. And Cuban oregano is also good for high blood pressure. It's good for your eyes. I'm so particular about our eyes, honestly. I'm so particular about it because in this generation, we spend more time on on our phones, on the laptop. So we need to take care of our eyes. So when it comes to plants that has vitamin A, I'm also very intentional about it. Moringa has vitamin A. Your basil has vitamin A. Stevia has vitamin A. Turmeric has. So, and Cuban oregano is also very good. If you have a cut, you squeeze the water of Cuban oregano to that cut to go. If you have insect bites, you squeeze the water of Cuban oregano, it will vanish. If you have headache and you rub it on your forehead and chew some, you will sleep like a baby. So Cuban oregano is also a plant that I'm going to recommend for all of us to have in our garden. The last but not the least is the Panadol plants. I'm sure some of us will be saying, hey, what's Panadol plant? Just Google it. It has one scientific name that is jaw-breaking. So I prefer to call it Panadol plant. So you can Google it. Panadol plant is also a pain relieving plant. Everybody must have Panadol plant too, because headache is common to everybody. I hope I'm speaking everybody's. My headache is common. Yeah. Nigeria, there's money headache, traffic headache, everything headache. So headache is common. So just chew your Panadol plants every day. You can say 2 leaves in the morning. Just chew it and you'll be fine. And is it fever? Is it malaria? Is it typhoid? Is it anything that has to do with pain or is associated with pain? Panadol plant will take care of it. So you can say that if you have all this thing in your garden, you don't need money to buy drugs again. And I want to tell us that almost 80% of the drugs in the market are not original. Yes, we have a lot of adulterated drugs in the market. So why are you troubling yourself? When you have antibiotics, you have painkiller, you have multivitamins, you have blood tonic in your compound. Why are you disturbing yourself? Yeah, let's start from there. God created them. They are not for show. God, God is very intentional. He doesn't do things anyhow. For every plant that God created, there's a purpose for our plants. So we must find out, why did God create this? And when we find out what the plant can do, then we'll also utilize it. You know, there are so many lies that are flying around. Don't take herbs because you don't know the quantity. I don't believe that. When we take ewedu, who told us the quantity of ewedu to put in our soup when we are eating amala? Nobody, just instinct. So when people are taking 5 bottles of Coke, they don't shout that you have to be careful. But when it comes to herbs, everybody will be shouting, please spare me. I don't belong to that school of thought. You can start gradually and increase it. You can even decide, if I want to take 5 leaves of Panadol plant, I can decide to take 1 hour interval. So I don't load myself at once. So if I take by 7 a.m., if I take 2 leaves, I can take another 2 leaves by 8 a.m., by 9. Between that period, you know that you will know if this leaf is okay with your system. If it's not okay, then you stop. So please don't let us buy the lies that there's no measurement for herbs, blah, blah, blah. Most people didn't take herb. They have liver problem. It's a lie. It's a lie from the pit of hell. Yes, a lot of, I don't want to mention brands, a lot of high blood pressure drugs are causing liver and kidney problem.
Yeah.
And now it's even worse because most of these drugs are fake. So when you are taking antibiotics, you are just taking powder, nothing. We are taking empty thing. But if you plant something in your compound, for God's sake, you are the one that planted it now. Nobody can come and fake turmeric for you now. Nobody come and take your moringa for you now. It's in your garden. So let's use it. I've trained my children to use herbs. When they have health challenges, the first thing that comes to mind is the garden. They will just call me, Mommy, please, which plant will I use? I have this, I have that. I said, okay, go downstairs, plug this, and take it. I'm already training them. Some of them, they are friends in school. When they have problem, they will call my daughter. Please let me ask your mommy. Yes, let's tell you. It's our plants. God gave us. And all these plants are what the Oyimbos are extracting the nutrients and putting it in medicine. And there's this slang that says food as medicine. And I always tell people that if your food is not natural, it cannot be your medicine. If your food is not natural, it can never be your medicine. I don't want to mention brand. When you are eating, look at the food. Is the food I'm eating, is it natural? If it's not natural, then it's not your medicine. Moringa is natural, so it's my medicine. Basil is natural, it's my medicine. They're also food. Because I noticed some people, they say, have you eaten? I've not eaten, no. I'm only taking apple. And I say, hey, apple is not a food. They are food. Anything that has nutrients in your body is food. There are 2 definitions of food. Food is anything that you take to quench hunger and thirst. That is, I just want to live. That's one definition. But another definition talks about nutrients. Anything that has nutrients, that has balanced diet, that has carbohydrates, protein, vitamins to your body is food. So when I take moringa, is it not adding nutrients to my body? When I drink water, is it not adding to my body? So let's embrace that definition of food, that anything that I take and add nutrients to my body is food. So don't tell me that I've not eaten. After you have taken 2 apples, after you are taking 1 kilo of carrots, and you say you have not eaten, you have eaten. It's food. So there are loads and loads of plants that we can talk, but I want to limit it to this 7. And you can also look at online. You can check some of the things that Mommy has done in the past and pick so many herbs. Look, when my friends I have a lot of friends abroad, so anytime they're coming and they're saying to me, what's the side of your shoe? I said, sugar. No, me, I want seeds. So all my friends, some of them on the platform, they know me. I want seeds. Some people say, give me. I said, I don't want money. Buy seeds for me. And I will send a list of the seeds that they will buy. I'm a seed person. Everywhere I go, I want to buy plants. I want to buy seeds. When I travel, I'm looking for plants to bring to my country. I'm looking for spices to bring. I'm looking for a variety of plants that will help my people to bring to the country. I remember when I visited Ghana, I've been looking for noni plants for a long time. So when I got to Ghana, I saw that they had noni in Ghana. And that day I went to the market. It wasn't convenient for me, but I told the organizer, please, can you take me to the market? They took it market. We were looking for noni seedlings everywhere. Nobody is awesome. As we were about to enter the car, I just saw one small girl calling noni in Ghana language, and she had just 3 plants selling. So I called the girl and I bought noni. When I was coming at the border, they wanted to take it from me. I started crying. You know, I started crying, and the people were like, "Is this woman okay?" So why are you crying? I said, "Please, I've been looking for this plant for years. Please, I did it." They said, "Oh, can go." So when we're crossing, some people saw me crying. So when the people at the border said I should go, so I was about to enter the bus that took me to Ghana. About 5 people came and said, "Madam, what's the name of this?" I said, "Noni, please, can I buy it?" I said, "Even if you give me 1 minute, I'm not selling." I took noni to Nigeria and I planted. Right now in Ondo State, I have a lot of people planting noni. Noni is one of the best plants for arthritis. If you have an aged mother at home, just do noni juice for the person. They won't disturb you again. Because I have a lot of my friends told me, my parents are not disturbing me again. There's no more, my leg is paining me. No more, I can't sleep. Once you give them noni, they will just sleep off. So so when you have your backyard pharmacy, you save money on medication. A lot of money on medication. I can't remember the last time we went to the hospital in my family, by the grace of God. It's not, I can't remember the last time we went to the hospital. You save money on food, the money you are supposed to take care of yourself, you take it to the hospital. But when you have a pharmacy, you have some of these plants in your compound, you take them regularly, you save money on medication, and you save yourself stress. We lost 2 of our neighbors because they gave them wrong medication. They just had gas explosion in the house. Not that it wasn't a big explosion. Just they walked out of the house themselves. They were talking. They went inside the car. They took them to the hospital and gave them wrong medication, and they died. The mother and the daughter died the same day, just because of wrong medication. You use with your garden, you are saving your life. I always call myself, I say I'm saving and shaping lives. All the plants in your garden, they will shape your life and they will also save your life. And I want to round up on this. If you have a backyard pharmacy, it will save your life. It will save the life of your family, and it will also make you have friends. Some of my friends in the outside the country will call me. Told me we have cancer. We say, please don't do chemo. But do this. Some of them are even planting. They are planting ewedu. They are planting ugu. I said, no, we do a lot of, we package some of our seeds and give it to friends. Go and plant ewedu, go and plant. And they are also on that. So I believe I've been able to communicate to all of us about a backyard pharmacy. And I know that we'll not just listen, we are going to implement everything I've said. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Oluwatomi. Thank you so much. Thank you for this
thank you,
revelation. Thank you so much. Well, we have a couple of questions from our people.
Okay.
Questions.
So I'll start asking the questions now.
Okay, ma. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Some are asking that how do they see the seedlings of these apps? How can they get it? The seedlings of the app. How can they get it? And some are saying that they actually wanted to see the plant itself.
Okay. Okay, let me start with how do I get the seedlings? We have a school in Ibadan. We also run a center in Akure, and our major occupation in that school is to produce different seedlings for people so that people can buy and plant. So almost all the plants I've mentioned, we have the seedlings that we are selling. Maybe you get our link to Mommy, then you have access. We have an e-shop where you can click on it and book for any of the seeds, our seedlings. We sell, most time we sell seedlings. The reason why we don't concentrate on seed is seed might fail. I've bought a lot of seed before. My sister has sent some seed for me from America that did not grow. So I don't want a story that, okay, I paid for seed and didn't grow. But when it comes to plants, you are in control, you are encouraged because it's already growing. All you need to is to buy and transplant. And I also want to say that we can ship to any parts of the country. We have shipped to Ghana before, we have shipped to Togo, we have shipped to Cotonou. So we are not limited to buyers in Nigeria. So you can buy. Then the pictures of the plants. I wish we can display some of the pictures here, but I have a slide. I will send it to mommy. Then she can share with our network. Then I also encourage you, please Google it. All the plants I've mentioned, please go and Google it. Let's learn. Yes, all the images are online.
Okay. As somebody asked, how can this basil leaf help in reducing blood sugar?
I can.
Can this basil leaf help in reducing blood sugar?
Yes, almost all the things I've mentioned, you can drink them as tea. So what you do with basil, especially the sweet basil, is there are two. Okay, let me teach us little tips on how to create our own powder at home. If I have moringa, instead of me going out all the time to pluck fresh moringa, I can dry it and put it in a jar as a dry powder. So anytime I take it, I'll just take a teaspoon, put it in my cup and drink it. You can do that to all the plants. You can do that with basil, you can do that with mint, you can do that with stevia. And I always tell women in the house, you must have a dehydrator.
Yeah.
All of us, I know we must have a dehydrator. Husbands in the house, fathers in the house, please give mommy a dehydrator. If you are listening to me, please give your wife a dehydrator. Buy a small dehydrator.
Let me ask this.
Yes.
Is it a small, is there anything like a small dehydrator? Because I have one that is given to me from Kaduna. It's a bit big. And because of the consumption of the light, that's why we have not used it.
Okay, we have small dehydrator that has about 5 trays. I think I started with the 5 trays. I think it's about 40. You can check online. It's about 40, 45 now. I bought it 20,000. With that small dehydrator, you can dehydration only removes the water content of your leaves. It doesn't change the nutrients of your leaves. So during the time, there are times you have excess harvest. Dehydrate it, blend it, and put it.
Hello.
In a hair tie, you want to take it, just take a teaspoon.
Hello.
Okay.
The network was,
can you hear me back?
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
We can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay. So just keep the powder in your kitchen and use it. 1 or 2 spoons every day will help you with your high blood pressure, will help you with your sugar level. You also help with your immunity.
Okay. Someone is asking, which one is vitamin A Garima?
Okay, there's this cassava that is yellow cassava. It's a project by RITA. They did a project on vitamin A Gary. So that cassava is yellow. It's not like Gary, you know, the Igbo people, they will add palm oil to the Gary, no. But this one, the cassava is yellow and it has vitamin A. It's good for sight. That's what we drink. I drink it. If I don't want to, if I want to sleep and I'm not feeling sleepy, I'll just put 2 teaspoons and drink it. I'll sleep. So there's vitamin A Gary. You can Google it. I know it's not so common because we have about few farmers in Ibadan that is planting it. So we always book ahead. The man knows some of us. Once he produces, he will just send to me. Ms. Olatoye, this is your vitamin Gary. So it's a type of Gary, vitamin A. It has a lot of vitamin A. You know, there's a time that when you take too much Gary, your eyes will be paining you. No, doesn't happen. Yeah. I take vitamin Gary almost every day. You don't have that feeling. When my mom was alive, she used to take vitamin A Gary as Eba. And when she takes the Eba, she will just sleep over. And one day she said, "Tommy, what do you always put in my food?" That when I finish, I will sleep. So it also make you sleep. and also has vitamin A, which is good for your
Okay.
vision. Yes,
And
ma'am.
somebody is asking which of these turmeric is best, white or yellow? Is that a white turmeric?
Yes, there's a white turmeric. They are all antioxidants. They are all very good.
Okay.
So you can, if you
So
have
what
white,
can
if you have,
you have white, you
you
have
can
yellow.
put. Yes, ma'am. The orange one.
Okay. What plant can ease menstrual pain, cramps for teens? I think this person came late because you are already addressed, but you can please
Okay.
answer it.
Mint will help you. Moringa will help you. Sour sop is also good for menstrual cramp. Ginger is also good for menstrual cramp. Then unripe pawpaw, you know this crunchy pawpaw that is ripe but is not soft. Once you take one whole crunchy pawpaw a day before your period, you won't even experience any pain.
Okay. I'm still trying to scroll.
Okay, mom.
Someone is asking plant for fatty liver, uric acid, the kidney, and fibroderma in the breast.
You know, when it comes to herbs, when it comes to treating ailments, it's not one. It might not be one way like that. So when
Okay.
it when you consider the issue of fibroid has to do with excessive production of an hormone in the system. Fibroid has to do with your liver. When you have fibroid, a lot of things is going on in your system. So you don't only attack the fibroid, you attack all the other things. One of the plants that I always recommend for people with fibroid is the plant I call dandelion roots. It
Okay.
detoxifies your liver. It helps your liver to function effectively, and it regulates the hormone. I've forgotten the hormone. I don't want to make mistake. I'm not a medical person. So
Okay.
it regulates your hormone. So once your liver is functioning well, then you are resetting your system. Then you look at what are the things I'm eating. Fibroid is a whole lifestyle change. So don't be taking herbs. No, you know some people they take herbs and they want to eat anything.
Hmm.
They want to drink cook. They want to. I can't remember the last time I took beef, Aaron, the cow beef. I can't remember the last time I took it. I've stopped. I can't remember the last time I took sugar. I can't remember the last time I drank milk.
Okay.
Because as an adult, the enzyme that breaks down milk is not working in your system again. So don't bother yourself with the milk. There are some plant-based milk. Tiger nut is a milk, good for adults, not the dairy milk. So when it comes to fibroid, it's a lifestyle. You have to change your lifestyle. So don't be taking herbs and living anyhow. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So I always encourage people, once you are when you begin a journey of lifestyle change, it starts from your food. And your food comes, if your food is coming from your backyard, then it starts from your backyard. What is in your backyard? Is what is in your backyard that you will eat, or what is in your fridge. You know, some people they say they are doing healthy living. I'll just open their fridge. Everything in that fridge, there's nothing healthy living about it. So please just I might not be able to address strictly the fibroid because it's a lifestyle thing. But there are some herbs that will help you with fibroid. Basil ephedrine will help you with fibroid. Taking ephedrine over time. You know, fibroid, it's something that's been building up over time. So don't take ephedrine for 1 week and believe that the fibroid will go in 1 week. It might take you 6 months to constantly take ephedrine for you to have your fibroid reduced. It might take you 30 days. You know, when it comes to herbs, everybody believes that it's a quick thing. No, it's not. It's slow, it's effective, and it doesn't have side effects. That's the difference between the orthodox and the natural. It doesn't have side effects. I remember there's a client of mine came to my office and said she has ulcer because she was being given this a pain relieving tablet. I can't remember the name of the tablet. He said anytime she has a headache, she will just take it. She will just take it. All of a sudden, she developed ulcer. And I called the medical doctor and said, that's the side effect of that drug. So almost all the medicine or the medication, the Oyinbo medication that we all believe in, they have side effects. They won't write it there because there's nothing natural about all those things. It has side effects. But when it comes to herbs, it's slow, it's effective, but it doesn't have side effects. When I take ginger for headache, there's no side effect. When I take some brand for headache, there's a side effect. So that's the difference. So don't think app is quick fix. There's nothing quick fix about apps. It helps you slowly. It doesn't have side effects.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm getting some questions and I think I better address. Somebody is saying that if this program is recorded, kindly grant us access to it after now. Of course, normally grant people access to our program. We have a recap. We have a kind of which we quickly send it to. Please, have you subscribed? Because if you are not subscribed, it may be difficult for you to get it to. But if you have subscribed, you can easily get it. Then let me also say
Okay.
this about the pictures of the apps. In the last 6-7 weeks, we've been running top apps for a healthier new year. I will show five
Okay.
apps per whatever. So you have everything on our YouTube channel. So you can go back and watch. At least you'll be able to see the pictures, be able to see then we'll be able to tell you this is what he does, this is what he does, and that kind of. So we've been able to do that for the past 6-7 episodes now. So you can have that.
Yes.
Somebody said, I'm hearing vitamin A Gary as well as noni plant for the first time. Yes, she has explained vitamin A Gary, the noni plant too. So I will share this on our whatever. If you want to get anything from Mrs. Olatoye, I've already gotten something from her. So I got what is it called? Bitter leaf tea, which
Bitter
is
leaf
very,
tea, yes,
very,
ma'am.
very bitter. And then because what actually made me to say I want to buy when I saw Panadol plant. I said Panadol plant, let me buy one. So I bought that one because I also have an herbal garden and has so many things that you are describing and more than that. But we'll discuss that later. Not what I want to say.
Okay.
You can also please, if you have not subscribed, so just subscribe. Thank you so much, Miss Olatoye.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm so good. Thank
So
you, all my friends that joined from all over, my friends from America. Thank you. My friend from Nigeria, Lagos, and on every member of the Urban family community. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here.
okay,
God bless you.
okay.
Yeah, thank
So
you
let
very
me
much, man. Thank you, man.
thank you for joining us in this episode 3 of our Who is Your Farmer series 2. A big thank you to Mrs. Oluwatomi Olatoye for
Thank you.
sharing her wisdom on the essential herbs for your backyard pharmacy. Just as we choose our doctors and lawyers carefully, let us also choose to cultivate our own source of health and wellness right at our own backyard. This episode reminds us that growing our own herbs not only strengthens our connection to food but also empowers us to take control of our health naturally. We encourage you to reflect on the question, who is your farmer? And to consider how you can integrate gardening into your lifestyle to support your own well-being and that of your family. Remember that every small step in urban agriculture contributes to a healthier lifestyle and a more sustainable environment. Please be sure to join us next time as we continue to explore how food connects us to our communities and our health. Until then, stay curious, keep gardening, and then remember, know your farmer. And what you are trying to do in this whatever, when we say who is your farmer, is that you can also be your own farmer. That's what we are trying to say.
Yes,
You can also
yes,
be
too.
your own farmer. And that's what we are trying to say in this. That was why we started this episode. You can also be your own farmer. You can start gardening. You can start doing so many things at your own backyard. Thank you so much. So, Miss Oluwatomi Olatoye, I want to say a big thank
Thank
you
you,
to you
Mommy.
for
Thank you so much, Ma.
you're
Thank
going to come on board later because we are
God
also
bless you, Ma.
cooking in the month of November. We are likely to have an urban family farming expo or a gathering in Abuja. And one of those people have penned and we are going to focus more on about something. So I'm liaising with so many of the
Okay.
ministries to do that. So please just get ready so that you can, like you say, you want to impact life, you want to change life. So let's change the lives of the people together. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Okay, mom. Noted, ma.
Okay, oh. Bye bye.
Noted. Yes, ma.
Yeah, she gone.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Yes, ma.